I absolutely love this, as Ryan Dunn is ready to step up for the occasion, as he was just recently named into the Rising Stars game for a replacement, and he has taken a big leap for the Suns this season and is going to be ready to showcase his skills. Plus, we'll be looking at Devin Booker as he speaks out on not being named to the All-Star game. How will that affect Mike Budenholzer's offense? We'll be getting into all of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I am Bruce Veliz, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support for Curtis and I, and it's super, super appreciated from all you guys. But I do want to let you guys know that roughly still 80% of you guys who watch these videos are still not subscribed, and you guys have been hitting the subscribe button. Let us know down below in the comment section all your guys' thoughts. But if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything, even after the trade deadline revolving around this Suns team, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get all your news around this Suns team here on Suns Digest. But without further ado, let's dive in and let's get into the news, as we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. As first, we're going to be diving in and looking at the bright spot here and discussing Ryan Dunn, as this is amazing to see, as a lot of Suns fans, including myself, felt that Ryan Dunn was snubbed from the Rising Stars game to begin with. But as we see here, we see that 4 replacements are going to be named for it, and we see Ryan Dunn is one of them, alongside Anthony Black, Tumani Kamara, and Asor Thompson. And they are the 4 replacements here, replacing rookies Jared McCain, uh, Derek Lively, Brandon Miller, and Victor Wembanyama. And Dunn is specifically replacing Jared McCain. And if we want to look at Dunn's stats on the year so far, we can see he's doing a very solid job for this Suns team, averaging 7.2 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1 assist on 45% from the field and 31% from 3. And the 3-point ball hasn't been as great as Suns fans anticipated, maybe from the start of the preseason, as we saw him on an absolute heater. But we have seen Ryan Dunn be able to be a solid knockdown 3-point shooter in occasion for this Suns team, but realistically be that great defender and being that fantastic POA defender that the Suns need in the starting lineup. And since he's been jolted into that starting lineup, he has really stepped up to the occasion and lived up to it. And for being the 29th overall pick in this NBA draft, that is all you could ask for out of Ryan Dunn. The Suns absolutely hit a slam dunk with this selection here, and I truly think he is going to be one of the building blocks for the future, and I can't wait to see what he brings for this Rising Stars game and how he can showcase his game to other fan bases around the league that maybe not know about him, or to showcase to other GMs why they were sleeping on him. I think this is absolutely fantastic for Ryan Dunn, and I can't wait to see what it brings for him and the fans as well in Phoenix. You at least get something to root for alongside Kevin Durant making it in the All-Star game. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But let's get into the next part as we talk about a little bit of a debate that's been going on with this All-Star game. As we obviously know, the All-Star rosters only have 12 guys per team, and with the NBA rosters now having 15, there are going to be snubs. And every year, we see snubs out left and right. And this season, we saw one come from the Phoenix Suns, you could say, in Devin Booker. As a lot of fans were a little bit furious with Booker not being selected to the All-Star game. And personally, me and Curtis, talked about this on the show when we were breaking it down on the live stream on yesterday, which if you guys missed that, go check it out. But we were talking about Booker as the All-Star reserves from the East got released when we were live, and I basically was talking about how I don't think necessarily Booker was going to make it. He's had a strong second little stint and has had a really good couple weeks, but to start off this season, he had a little bit of a stagnant start. And obviously, with the Suns positioning being 9th in the Western Conference, I didn't necessarily think in a stacked Western Conference as well that they were going to get 2 All-Stars. If Devin Booker and this Phoenix Suns team had a little bit of a higher record, I think maybe he could have obviously pushed his name in there. He's definitely deserving of it, but a lot of guys, like I mentioned, are deserving of it, and there were a lot of snubs this year, and that's why a lot of people, including myself, think the roster should have increased to at least 15, so then we could at least get 6 extra All-Stars and kind of eliminate some of those snubs. So then there's realistically only 1 or 2 realistic borderline guys, and it's not 3 or 4 guys that everyone is really clamoring about. But what we care about is what Devin Booker had to say, because because obviously Booker is the guy that is, being talked about in all of this. So let's look at what Booker had to say about this. And he responded to Dwayne Rankin saying, obviously, it's something that I wanted to be a part of, but definitely he's not going to complain about taking a week to regroup. Talking about the All-Star snub. He also mentioned giving some light to some other players that did not make the roster as well, saying, it's just kind of tough. And we want to look at Booker's stats on the year. We can see he's averaging 25.5 points, 4 rebounds, 6.7 assists, 44% for the field, and 34% for three. Like I said, you can make the argument that Devin Booker could deserve to be an All-Star. And for the likes of how he's been playing over the last couple weeks, he definitely has been playing very, very solid. But when you look at it overall with this Suns team and how they look on paper as a roster with their winning, it's just going to be tough to get 2 All-Stars to a 9th seeded team, regardless on how effective those players are for this Suns squad. Like I said, there's been a bit of discourse. Some Suns fans are in the side of Devin Booker definitely deserving to be an All-Star. Some fans are kind of understanding of why it happens, and some fans are completely in the he doesn't deserve to be an All-Star and all, which I don't necessarily understand. I think he's definitely worthy of in the conversation, but with the fact that the Western Conference is so stacked in that guard position as well, with getting even more and more snubs out west, I think it was just very difficult for Booker to even realistically find a shot. But I want to know what your thoughts are down below. But we got a little bit more to kind of dive into before we sign off, as I do want to get into a little bit of some. Ooh, hit the wrong button there. Sorry. Whoopsie. In here into some trade tidbits, as we see some trade tidbits on the way out. As while I was getting this video set up, we've all seen the talks of De'Aaron Fox, Jimmy Butler, all this stuff, but this is some more stuff that we can see, stuff that we haven't really seen so far. And we all know John Gambadoro is a fantastic insider for this Phoenix Suns team. He usually has all the intel. We saw this where he says, even if it's not Jimmy Butler or bust, it is not Jimmy Butler or bust for the Phoenix Suns, excuse me. The Suns are looking at many options to improve their roster and chances as they do by the deadline. And he went on to further that quote here by saying that there's too many people on the list to really look at, but at least 20 players are being looked at by this team. And we saw a little bit of an update here, courtesy of HP Basket, which let us know that the Orlando Magic have been talking to the Phoenix Suns in regarding to Grayson Allen and Yusuf Nurkic, while also showing interest in Brooklyn's Cam Johnson. Now, we all know the Suns are in the second apron and strapped, so taking back, money for Grayson Allen and Yusuf Nurkic would have to be under their contracts. But with Grayson Allen making around $15 million and Yusuf Nurkic making around 19, that's pretty easy with this Orlando Magic team, as a lot of their players make under both of those contracts. The only two that don't, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Jonathan Isaac. Now, I obviously don't see them moving off of players like Paolo Banchero or obviously Franz Wagner or any of those guys like Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, but I could see some guys on this roster being expendable to being Goga Batazde and Wendell Carter Jr. We all know the Suns have been looking to add some depth in that front court position, and I wouldn't mind them considering either adding both of those. Wendell Carter adding some great offensive game for this Suns team at that big man position, and obviously Goga Batazde adding some much more needed defensive pressure, rim protection, rebounding, shot blocking, stuff that Suns fans have been eyeing for. And in the games that they have played the Orlando Magic, he has been very, very dominant. Now, with Mo Wagner being out for a little bit, I could see the Magic questioning possibly adding these roles. But if they realistically wanted to add another shooter, like they're kind of interested in Cam Johnson, but feel like it would be too much to give up, maybe adding a cheaper player like Grayson Allen and still giving up on a piece in Goga Batazde is okay to add that needed three-point shooting, but that's just something to keep an eye on, Suns fans, as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. Like I said, next Thursday, the Suns won't be able to make any moves, but like John was saying, they are being aggressive, and even if it's not Jimmy Butler, they will still try to do something, and that's what I want to see. I want to see Yusuf Nurkic out of here. If he's getting DNPs, if he's not playing, he's making $18 million, we need to trade his contract. We traded for those first-round picks to make deals. Move Yusuf Nurkic at least. If you have to move Grayson Allen, if you have to move Tyus Jones, I'll do it as well, just to make sure that this roster can be fully constructed. But let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys ultimately think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.